Sister, my personal question is about marriages. When, for example, because over the years I have been in the congregation, I have found cases where the wife wants to convert, to truly change her life from the world, and the husband does not. Or vice versa. The man is devoted, he is in love with the Lord, he wants to change, he tries to bear fruit, and he is in the process. But the wife listens, she receives prophecy, the promises are fulfilled for her, yet she is lukewarm. So, sister, the question is this. These people suffer so much because they say, how? How am I going to do this so that we can move forward with God's help and with the wisdom to know how to handle these situations, which are many, sister?
The root of most problems is usually a lack of commitment to God. This can cause conflicts in a marriage, a home, or a family. We must sincerely commit ourselves to God. We need to turn away from anything that might displease Him. We need to reflect, to take a good look at our lives, to identify our flaws and weaknesses, to ask ourselves what we're doing wrong, and consider our fellowship with God, because that's the most important thing. If we, whether men or women, sincerely commit ourselves to God, trust in Him, pray, and please Him, He won't let us suffer. He won't let us endure hardship. So when you see that you're praying and going to church and asking for prophecy, because sometimes people go to church to ask for prophecy, hoping it will solve their problems, and the problem persists, then you need to examine yourself. Look at where you're failing God, because God rewards the righteous. Remember this, brothers and sisters, God rewards the righteous. If a man is suffering and is righteous, God will reward him and give him victory. If a woman is righteous, God will reward her, give her victory, and help her resolve any problem she may have with her family. But if both of you are failing, and the other one thinks that just because they go to church every day, it means they're right with God, that's not necessarily true. You can go to church every day, but what's in your heart? Are you failing God in your heart? What about your thoughts, your life, your weaknesses, your attitudes? You need to examine yourself. Are you a liar? Are you filled with pride, anger, resentment, slander, evil thoughts, and bad attitudes? Do you do things that are wrong? If you have all these things, don't expect God to bless you, to help you, or give you victory in resolving your family problems. So we must commit ourselves to God. Someone once asked me, what does it mean to commit oneself to God? Committing oneself to God means turning away from evil, from sin, from hatred, resentment, envy, strife, and lies. It means turning away from worldly passions and pleasures that harm your spiritual life. This is what it means to change and turn to God, to live for God. And when you do this, God will give you victory and triumph, and your prayers will be enough. You don't even need to come and ask for prophecy. You can just kneel down and ask God, and He will hear you and help you. But you must win God's heart and divine grace for Him to hear your prayers. I say this from experience, and I teach it. I'm certain of all the experiences in my life, all the examples, all the things I've lived through in my life and with the people of the church, with everything. I've learned that many people don't turn to the Lord. They come to church. They've been here for years, 10 years, 15 years, and it's sad. They haven't turned to God. They continue to lead a sinful life, a worldly life, and that's why God turns away and doesn't bless them. That's why homes break apart and divorces and separations happen. That's the truth, brothers and sisters. We must commit ourselves to God. We must love God and turn away from all evil so that we can find grace. And the Lord will say, you are my true child, and I will help you. I won't let the devil come here and turn your spouse against you to make you suffer. No, because I will resolve your problem. Whether it's him or her who is right with God, the Lord says, I will give you victory and triumph. The Lord does all this. I teach this because I've lived through many things. I know the Lord. I've experienced what it's like to win the Lord's heart, to attain God's blessings. And despite what the devil and the world say, the Lord says something to me. I know and trust that what God told me will happen despite all the threats the devil has made in my life. And then comes the triumph, the moment of victory. And prayer is important. Kneeling down to pray and ask God is very important. But we must change. We must abandon bad habits, weaknesses There are many secret sins that we need to give up so that everything can go well, not just in the family and at home, but also in business, at work, and in every area of life. You need to be right with God for Him to hear your prayer and prosper you so you'll never lack anything. That's it, brothers and sisters. This is something we need to repeat over and over again until it sinks in, because we forget everything. From one moment to the next, we forget what we need to do and end up leading a precarious life, a difficult situation. I pray and the Lord doesn't hear me. I'm in debt. I don't have a job. Doors are closing. What's happening? Of course, I'm not right with the Lord, and that's why God has closed doors. That's why God doesn't hear me. But when we are truly children of God, when we are righteous, the Lord, in one way or another, resolves our problems. He blesses us. So, brothers and sisters, it's hard, but we need to keep talking until we truly understand and comprehend. As humans, we often have a mindset and a heart so hardened that things go in one ear and out the other. Then we forget again, and we fall back into the same old habits.